It may shock you what I'm about to say, but stay with me. If you're seeing this video, it means that you, my friend, are a walking trigger. And guess what? That's your greatest gift. You might be wondering what I mean by that, but I promise, by the end of this, you'll see how this revelation can change everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world around you. Before we dive into that, let's take a moment to think about something. Every day, you walk past countless people, some you know, some you don't. But there's one thing that happens constantly: people trigger reactions from each other. A passing glance, a kind word, a sharp comment. These small interactions are like little sparks, setting off a chain reaction. And you, my friend, you're a walking trigger. You have the power to make waves, whether you realize it or not. Now, let me tell you this, you are not like everyone else. If you're watching this, you are one of the chosen ones. And believe me, that's not just a title, it's a way of being. You've been chosen because you carry something unique. People like you are rare. You're not here by chance. You've got a power inside of you that's beyond anything most people can comprehend. Now, before we continue, I want you to do something for me. If you resonate with what I'm saying, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. And while you're at it, leave a comment with the number 77. This isn't just any number. It's a signal to the universe. It's a sign of your alignment with your true purpose. And I want you to play this video on repeat. Let the energy of the message sink in. Because the more you repeat it, the more powerful the signal you send out into the universe becomes. But there's one more thing. If you are truly a chosen one, you'll stay until the end of this video. If you're not, chances are you won't make it through. So, let's see who you really are. Chapter 1: The Power of Being a Walking Trigger. Being a walking trigger is something that's often seen in a negative light in society. You might automatically think of triggers as things that stir up negative emotions, arguments, fights, disagreements, or awkward situations. The word trigger is often associated with conflict, discomfort, and emotional turbulence. But what if I told you that being a walking trigger could actually be one of your greatest gifts? What if this ability to trigger responses, to stir something deep within others, is not a curse, but a source of immense power? Let me give you an example. Throughout history, we've seen countless moments where one small action, one trigger, has led to monumental changes. Think about some of the most profound moments in history. What sparked a revolution? A movement? A significant change? It wasn't always a peaceful gesture or a calm, collected individual leading the charge. No, it was often a trigger. Someone, somewhere, said or did something that caused an eruption of emotions, a response that couldn't be ignored. It wasn't always positive at first. In fact, sometimes it was downright controversial or uncomfortable. But it led to something greater. That single trigger set off a chain reaction that changed the course of history. Take, for instance, the civil rights movement, where one simple act of defiance by Rosa Parks sparked a massive shift in the American public's consciousness. Or consider the actions of whistleblowers who risked everything to expose truths that were uncomfortable but necessary for societal change. In each of these cases, the trigger wasn't about starting a fight or creating chaos. It was about provoking thought, stirring emotions, and igniting change. Without those triggers, without those pivotal moments that sparked a reaction, history may have unfolded very differently. As chosen ones, you possess this unique ability to spark reactions in others. And it's not just through your words. It's through your presence, your energy, and the way you navigate the world. Your energy is a powerful force, one that interacts with the environment around you in ways that others might not even understand. You might think that your triggers are accidental, that they are random or unintentional. But the truth is, they are far from random. They are part of your purpose, part of the reason you are here on this earth at this time. You are meant to be a catalyst for change. Whether you're aware of it or not, your energy is constantly interacting with the world around you, creating ripples that lead to significant transformations. Even when you feel like you're just living your life, going about your daily routine, you are still triggering shifts in the people you meet, the situations you encounter, and the environments you occupy. Think about it. You walk into a room, and suddenly the atmosphere shifts. People react to you in different ways. Some feel uncomfortable, others feel energized, some may feel inspired, while others might feel threatened. Why is that? It's because your presence has the ability to trigger something inside them. You don't even have to say a word. The energy you carry with you, the vibration you emit, has an impact. The world is full of triggers. But the difference with you, as a chosen one, is that your triggers are intentional, even if they don't always feel that way. Your very being is like a match ready to light the fuse. You have the ability to make people question their reality, to stir deep emotions they may not have even realized were there. Your presence, your actions, your words, they all act as a spark that awakens something inside others. And when you understand that this is your gift, you begin to realize just how powerful you truly are. This power can feel overwhelming at times. You might have moments where you trigger intense emotions in others, and it feels uncomfortable. You might find that people react to you in ways that feel confusing or challenging. But let me assure you, these reactions are not a sign that something is wrong with you. Quite the opposite, in fact. Your ability to trigger change is a sign that you are on the right path. The universe has chosen you to be a walking catalyst, a force for growth and transformation. It's easy to shy away from this power, to feel like a misfit or an outsider because your energy doesn't always align with what others expect. You might feel like you don't belong, or that you're too different, too much, or not enough. But the truth is, the universe needs people like you. It needs people who can stir things up, who can push others beyond their comfort zones, who can provoke thought, conversation, and change. The universe has designed you to make a difference, even if you don't always know how or why. Your power is not a burden, it is a gift that is essential for the growth of the world. Sometimes, this gift may feel like a heavy burden. It might seem as if you are the one constantly triggering reactions in others, and it can feel tiring or isolating. But remember, this is not a curse, it is your calling. You are here to help others wake up from their slumber, to challenge their preconceived notions, to make them see the world in a different light. It's not always going to be comfortable, but real change rarely is. So, why are you a walking trigger? Because the universe needs people like you. It needs people who are not afraid to stir the pot, to challenge the status quo, to create a shift in the energy around them. The universe needs you to wake people up, to push them beyond the limits they've set for themselves, to help them see that there is more to life than what they've been taught. And while it might feel overwhelming or confusing at times, trust that this is part of your soul's mission. You are a walking trigger for a reason, and that reason is to help this world evolve. So embrace your power. Don't hide from it. Understand that you are here to make a difference, and that difference starts with the way you show up in the world. When you fully embrace your role as a walking trigger, you'll begin to see just how much your presence, your words, and your actions can change the world around you. And in doing so, you will fulfill your soul's true purpose. Chapter 2: Embracing your uniqueness as a chosen one. As a walking trigger, you are one of the chosen ones. This isn't just a title, it's a truth that resonates deep within your soul. Being chosen is not about being special in a traditional sense. It's not about being flawless or perfect. It's about being uniquely designed for a specific purpose, one that is greater than anything you might have imagined. This is what sets you apart from the rest of the world. While others may struggle to understand their place, you already know that you're different, and that difference is your strength. You see, most people go through life trying to fit in, to blend with the crowd, to follow the path that everyone else follows. It's easy to do this because society places so much value on conformity. We're constantly told to look like others, to think like others, to behave like others. But the chosen ones, people like you, are not here to follow the crowd. You were designed to stand out. Your uniqueness is your power. The more you try to fit in, the more you suppress your true nature. The more you hide the very traits that make you stand out, the less power you have to create change. Think about it, if you weren't meant to stand out, why would you feel like you never quite belong? Why would you feel like you're always on the outside, looking in? It's because you're not meant to be like everyone else. You are meant to break the mold, to push the boundaries, to create something entirely new. Being unique is not easy. In fact, it can be downright difficult at times. When you're different, you're often misunderstood. People may question you, judge you, or even try to diminish your power. But here's the thing, their opinions don't matter. What matters is that you embrace your uniqueness with pride. Your purpose, your mission, your gift, it all lies in your ability to embrace who you truly are, without apology. The world needs people like you, people who can challenge the status quo, who aren't afraid to be different, who aren't afraid to speak their truth. When you embrace your uniqueness, you tap into the deepest part of your power. Your authenticity is the key to unlocking the potential within you and the potential within others. So, when you feel like the world is telling you to shrink, to fit into a box, remember, you are a chosen one. Your job is not to conform, but to lead. To be the spark that ignites change. Embrace your uniqueness fully, and the world will begin to shift around you. You are a walking trigger, and it's your authenticity that will make all the difference. Chapter 3: The emotional impact of being a walking trigger. As a walking trigger, one of the most powerful and significant effects you have on others is the emotional impact you create. Every person you encounter, every interaction you have, stirs emotions, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but always profound. The emotions that arise in others when they come into contact with you are not random, nor are they mere coincidences. They are the direct result of the energy you bring into every interaction, whether you're aware of it or not. This energy is like an invisible force that moves through you and directly influences those around you. You might think that you're just going through life, minding your own business, and that the way people react to you is a simple result of their own moods or personal issues. But let me assure you, your presence is having a far greater effect than you realize. Even when people don't understand why they feel certain ways when you're around, your energy is triggering something deep within them, whether that's inspiration, discomfort, anger, or a sense of calm. They may not even be able to articulate why they feel the way they do, but your energy is stirring something within them that needs to be seen, felt, or confronted. The emotions that you evoke in others are often linked to their own internal struggles, unhealed wounds, or unmet desires. Your presence acts as a mirror, reflecting back to them what they need to see, whether they are ready to see it or not. It's like you're a walking catalyst for personal growth, helping others face what they might not have been able to confront otherwise. Your energy forces them to meet their own feelings, their own fears, and even their own potential. And that's incredibly powerful. This emotional stirring can be a wake-up call for others, pushing them to address deep-seated issues or reframe their own perspectives. But it's not always going to be comfortable for them or for you. You might find that some people are drawn to you, feeling energized, inspired, or uplifted by your presence. Others, however, may feel defensive, uncomfortable, or even threatened by the emotions your energy brings to the surface. They may even react negatively, distancing themselves or displaying hostility. But here's the crucial truth: these reactions are not about you. They are about the internal process the other person is going through. Your energy is acting as a mirror, reflecting back what they need to see in order to grow. When this happens, it can be difficult to understand. You may feel misunderstood or rejected when people react negatively, but remember, these reactions are part of their own journey. Your role as a walking trigger is not to make people comfortable all the time. In fact, your presence is often a reminder that growth happens in uncomfortable spaces. The reactions you provoke are merely a sign that you've stirred something necessary for their transformation. It can be challenging, especially when people react negatively to your presence. You might feel like you're constantly pushing others away or creating conflict. But remember that this discomfort is part of your role as a walking trigger. Sometimes, in order for someone to grow, they need to face uncomfortable truths about themselves. They need to confront what they have been avoiding, whether that's a personal flaw, a limitation, or an unhealed wound. Your ability to trigger those emotions in others is what helps them evolve. Without that push, without the discomfort, they may never be forced to confront their internal struggles or begin their journey of self-discovery. So, don't shy away from the emotional impact you have on others. Recognize that you are a force of change, even if that change feels uncomfortable. Sometimes, it's that very discomfort that sparks real, meaningful growth. Embrace your power as a walking trigger, knowing that the emotions you evoke are not only part of your greater purpose, but are essential for the evolution of those you encounter. Even when it seems like you're causing friction, understand that you are sparking the transformation that others may desperately need. Your energy, while sometimes unsettling, is a key part of the healing and awakening process for those around you. Keep being that catalyst, because change, growth, and healing often come from facing the uncomfortable, and you are the one chosen to trigger that process. Chapter 4: The Role of Patience in Your Journey. As a walking trigger, one of the most important qualities you will need on your journey is patience. The power you hold within you is not always something that can be seen immediately. The triggers you set off in others, whether emotional shifts or shifts in perspective, often take time to manifest. And that's something that can be incredibly difficult to accept, especially in today's world. We live in a society where we expect instant results, where everything is available at the click of a button, and we want to see immediate changes in ourselves and others. But true transformation, the kind that leads to deep, lasting change, doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You might find that when you trigger something in someone, whether it's sparking a shift in their mindset or triggering an emotional response, they don't immediately respond the way you expect. They may resist, they may be confused, or they may even push back against the energy you're offering. This is where patience becomes a key element in your journey. The process of transformation takes time. People are not always ready to accept the triggers you set off in them right away. But that doesn't mean your efforts are in vain. It simply means that the process is unfolding in its own time, and you must trust that things are progressing even when they are not immediately apparent. Think about the way seeds grow. You plant a seed in the ground, and you don't expect it to sprout immediately. You have to give it time to take root, to develop a strong foundation beneath the surface before it can break through the soil. You nurture it, protect it, and allow it to grow at its own pace. The same goes for the emotional, mental, and spiritual triggers you set off in others. You might not see the immediate effects of your actions, but rest assured that your presence, your energy, and your actions are planting seeds that will eventually grow into something powerful. You may not always witness the process, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Patience is crucial because you are working on a level that goes beyond the immediate or surface-level reactions. Your role as a walking trigger isn't just about causing a momentary shift or a fleeting emotional response. It's about sparking a long-term, deep transformation. Sometimes, that transformation needs time to unfold. People need time to process what you've triggered within them. They need time to adjust to the new perspectives you've opened for them. And this process cannot be rushed. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate changes in the people you are affecting. Trust that the process is working, even if it's happening beneath the surface. You might not see the full results of your actions right away, but know that the energy you are putting into the world is powerful. It is moving people in ways that you cannot always see, and this slow burn often leads to more sustainable change than anything immediate could. Being patient with others is also about being patient with yourself. You might want to see the effects of your power right away, to witness the transformation in real time, but just like anyone else, you are on your own journey of growth, understanding, and evolution. Just because you have the ability to trigger change in others doesn't mean you've mastered patience or fully understood the timing of your own evolution. Give yourself grace as you navigate this path. The more patient you are with others and with yourself, the more your power will unfold naturally. Patience helps you evolve as well. As you navigate this journey of being a walking trigger, you'll begin to see how it shapes your own growth, how it deepens your understanding of yourself and your role in the world. The more you allow yourself to trust in the process, the more aligned your energy will become, and the more you'll see your power unfold in profound and unexpected ways. And ultimately, the more patience you practice, the more you'll be able to fully harness the deep, transformative energy you are meant to share with the world. Remember, growth is not always visible at first, but trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The more patient you are, the more your triggers will create long-lasting change, and the more you'll see your true power emerge, not in fits and starts, but in a steady, unstoppable wave. Chapter 5: Navigating the Challenges of Being a Walking Trigger. Being a walking trigger isn't always easy. In fact, it can often feel like a constant challenge. There will be times when you feel misunderstood, your actions will be questioned, and your energy will create friction. You might encounter resistance or face moments where you feel isolated and alone. But here's the truth: these challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for growth, evolution, and deeper understanding. They are essential stepping stones on the path to becoming the powerful force you were always meant to be. One of the biggest challenges you will face as a walking trigger is the resistance you encounter from others. Not everyone will be ready or open to receive the energy you bring into their lives. Some people will try to resist it, to push back against it, or even try to shut it down entirely. And that can be painful. It can feel like you're constantly at odds with the world around you, like you are swimming upstream against a current that's pushing you back. But what if I told you that this resistance is not a sign of failure? It's a sign that your presence is making an impact. Resistance is often a natural reaction to change. People only resist what they are afraid of, what challenges their current beliefs, or what forces them to confront something they would rather avoid or ignore. It's uncomfortable, but that discomfort is what sparks growth. If you weren't doing something important, they wouldn't be resisting you. Your energy is stirring something inside them, pushing them to confront their own truths, their own doubts, or their own limitations. Instead of seeing resistance as a setback or something to shy away from, see it as validation that you are on the right path. You are triggering something that needs to be triggered. Along with resistance, there will also be times when you feel isolated or alone in your journey. As a walking trigger, your role is to spark change, but sometimes that means being one step removed from the rest of the world. It can feel like you're standing on the outside looking in, like no one truly understands you or the purpose you are here to fulfill. You might feel disconnected, or as if you're walking a path that no one else can follow. This can be particularly challenging, especially when you're deeply committed to your mission but feel like no one is noticing or appreciating your efforts. But here's the truth: you are never truly alone, even in your moments of isolation. Your mission is greater than the temporary feelings of loneliness you might experience. The world needs you to keep triggering change, even when it feels like no one is acknowledging your efforts. You have a greater purpose than fitting in or being understood by everyone around you. Your job is not to please the masses or gain validation from others. Your job is to continue on your path, knowing that your work will eventually make an impact, even if it takes time to be recognized. Ultimately, the challenges you face are what make you stronger. They are not setbacks or signs that you should quit. They are the very experiences that refine you, shape you, and prepare you for the next phase of your journey. Every challenge, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it may seem, is an opportunity for you to grow. It's an opportunity to become even more powerful in your role as a walking trigger. As you face resistance and isolation, you will develop deeper resilience, wisdom, and strength. These challenges will prepare you to handle even greater tasks, to reach even higher levels of influence, and to create even more profound change. So, embrace these challenges as part of your path. Don't shy away from them or try to avoid the discomfort. Instead, see each obstacle as a lesson to be learned, a step forward in your personal and spiritual growth. The more you embrace these challenges, the more you will evolve. You are a walking trigger for change, and every moment of resistance and isolation is helping you become even more powerful in your mission to awaken the world around you. Keep going, because you are on the right path, and with each challenge you overcome, you are that much closer to fulfilling your purpose. Chapter 6: The Spiritual Connection to Being a Walking Trigger. Your ability to be a walking trigger is not just a random gift, it is a deeply spiritual calling. It's something that goes far beyond mere happenstance or coincidence. When you embrace your role as a walking trigger, you are tapping into a higher purpose that transcends the physical realm. This is not just about your day-to-day life or the interactions you have with people. It's about connecting to the universal energies of the cosmos, energies that bind us all together. This profound connection is what gives you the power to affect change on a spiritual level. It's the very reason why you are a chosen one. You are not here by accident, and your purpose is far greater than you might realize. At its core, being a walking trigger is about energy. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, of vibrations, frequencies, and waves. Every action you take, every word you speak, and every interaction you have sends out energy into the universe. The energy you release doesn't just dissipate into thin air, it interacts with the world around you, creating ripples that extend far beyond what your eyes can see. Just as a stone thrown into a pond creates waves that travel outward, your energy, too, spreads out, reaching people, situations, and places in ways you can't fully comprehend. When you are aligned with your spiritual purpose, the energy you send out is not only amplified, but also becomes more intentional. Your presence alone becomes a beacon, attracting those who need to be awakened or shifted. The triggers you set off are no longer random, they become powerful, deliberate, and transformative. Every time you step into your true calling, you activate something deeper within yourself and others, pushing the world closer to healing and enlightenment. Your energy is a reflection of your inner self, the essence of who you truly are. And when you are aligned with your true purpose, that energy becomes a force for good. It becomes the type of energy that heals, that transforms, that inspires. Your energy can spark growth within others, leading them to their own spiritual awakening. It can help guide them through their struggles, challenges, and moments of doubt, providing clarity and light when it's needed most. Your energy can help others step into their own power, just as you are stepping into yours. The world around you becomes a mirror, reflecting the energy you radiate back to you, amplifying it and spreading it further than you could imagine. To fully embrace your role as a walking trigger, you must first connect with your inner self. This connection is not something that can be found through external means alone. It is something that must be nurtured and cultivated from within. Spend time in meditation, reflection, and quiet solitude. These moments of stillness allow you to reconnect with your soul and the greater energies of the universe. They give you the space to listen, to understand, and to align with your true self. It's in these quiet moments that you tap into the power that has been within you all along. The more you align with your true self, the more powerful your energy becomes. You start to see that your triggers are not only guiding you on your journey, but also leading others to a deeper sense of purpose. The more you connect with the divine flow of energy, the more you can send that energy out into the world with intention. You are no longer just walking through life randomly. You are walking with purpose, knowing that your energy has the power to change the world around you. As you continue on this path, you will see how your triggers can help others step into their own spiritual awakenings. You'll notice how people begin to shift their perspectives, how they start to see things differently, or how they make changes in their lives that they never would have considered before. You will become a vessel for transformation, both for yourself and for others. The more you embrace this role, the more you realize that your life is not just your own, it is part of something much larger, something deeply spiritual and cosmic. When you live in alignment with your spiritual purpose, you become a walking catalyst for growth. And through your energy, you help others awaken to the truth of who they are and what they are capable of. This is the gift you were given, the ability to trigger awakening, growth, and transformation, not just within yourself, but within everyone you encounter. Embrace this connection and allow your energy to flow freely. The more you do, the more you will witness the profound impact you can have on the world. Chapter 7. Your impact on the world as a walking trigger. As a walking trigger, your impact on the world is immeasurable. You might not always see the immediate effects of your actions, and that's okay. But trust that every time you trigger a response, you are leaving an indelible mark on the world. Whether it's a shift in someone's mindset, an emotional breakthrough, or a challenge to the status quo, the ripples of your actions extend far beyond what you can see. Your ability to provoke thought, stir emotions, and challenge the way things have always been is exactly what makes you an agent of change. It's this very quality that sets you apart and pushes the world in a direction it needs to go. The world is full of people who are too afraid to speak up, too afraid to rock the boat, too afraid to challenge what has always been. But the world needs people like you, people who are not afraid to be bold, to speak their truth, and to take risks. Your energy, your presence, your authenticity, these are the forces that will drive the world forward. Every time you set off a reaction, you are planting a seed, sometimes without even knowing it, that could one day grow into something far greater than you can imagine. Every person you inspire, every mind you challenge, every soul you awaken is part of the greater change that is coming to this world, and you are a key player in that transformation. As a walking trigger, you are meant to be a catalyst. Your role isn't always to see the results immediately, but to trust that the seeds you plant will one day sprout. Change doesn't always happen overnight, but the impact you have is undeniable. Even in moments when you feel uncertain or discouraged, know that you are part of a larger cosmic plan. Every reaction you provoke, every thought you stir, and every emotion you bring to the surface is helping to bring the world closer to the evolution it so desperately needs. So, embrace your role as a walking trigger. Know that the impact you have, no matter how small it may seem at times, is part of something far greater. You are a chosen one, and your mission is to change the world, not by conforming to its expectations, but by triggering the growth and transformation that are necessary. Keep triggering those responses, keep stirring those emotions, and keep awakening the world to its true potential. Your energy is powerful, and when you fully embrace it, there's nothing that can stop you from making a profound and lasting impact on the world. The future is in your hands, and your presence is the catalyst that will propel us into a new reality. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed. Being a walking trigger isn't a curse, it's a gift. A gift that makes you a catalyst for change, a force that stirs the energy around you, and a beacon for those who need to awaken to their true selves. Embrace your uniqueness, trust in your power, and never shy away from the impact you're meant to have on this world. Remember, the universe chose you for a reason. You are here to trigger transformation within yourself and within others. So, step into your power, keep triggering those changes, and know that every ripple you create brings us closer to the world we are meant to live in. If you've made it this far, you are truly a chosen one. Keep pushing forward, keep embracing your journey, and trust that your impact is far greater than you may ever realize. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and leave your comment with the number 77. Play this video on repeat to send that powerful signal to the universe. Let's keep triggering transformation together. Until next time, stay powerful,